Hi everyone and welcome back to the Geeky Gallery. It's time again to jump into the coloring project for Kerby Rosanes' Dark Fairytales, where I let random generators or random spinners determine my colors, my page, and my mediums that I will be using. So let's see what the wheels have for us this week. So I decided it was a good idea to add my choice onto the wheel, and maybe sometime it can fall onto that, and I can decide what mediums I wanted to use. And of course, I added it, and what did it fall on? Now, I didn't think that it was going to fall on my choice immediately. So I decided to spin the wheel again for two reasons. Firstly, it kind of felt like I was cheating a bit because I added it just now and then it landed on it. So maybe that influenced the wheel in some way. So I decided that's not going to fly. I'm not going to cheat in this project. And the second reason was I haven't used all the mediums in coloring books before. So I wanted to try a few more out before I'm given the choice to choose which one is my favorite. So I just spun the wheel again. Now, so much for testing out new mediums because Prismacolor is what I mainly use to color my pages. But we'll get to the others. So, yeah, Prismacolors it is. I was kind of excited to use my pencils again because since starting this channel, I've tried so many new mediums, new things. I haven't really just actually colored just using my Prisma Premier color pencils. So I was kind of excited just to get back to my old ways of doing things. Secondly, I had to choose my page and it landed on page 70, which is this Rumpelstiltskin page. Now, I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit sad that it didn't land on 71. I recently saw someone color this and it was absolutely beautiful. So I was kind of disappointed, but we can't go against the wheel, so 70 it is. Next, I had to choose my color palette. Now, this is a very beautiful color palette and I really like it. But one thing that I've noticed since doing this is that if you have a color palette with too many similar colors and so many objects on a page, it becomes really difficult because now I have a bunch of purples that are pretty much very similar from light to dark, and then this blue color, and it becomes really difficult with so many objects because now I'm forced to color the all of the objects purple or most of the objects purple. So it really becomes a challenge when you have a color palette like this where all the colors are very similar. But that is part of the challenge, so let's see what I can do. The first thing I do is go through and pick all of my colors. This is just easier to do it beforehand rather than trying to choose your colors while you are busy coloring. It just kind of breaks the flow. So I just do it first thing. Here is the main set of pencils that I chose. These are the ones that are closest to my color palette, so that's why it's the main set of colors. And then I also have this additional set, and these are just used for shadows and highlights, so they're lighter or darker than the main set that I have. But let's start and see what we can do. I like starting with the background first. It kind of just feels like it anchors the image and it is so much easier to visualize what you want the rest of the page to look like going forward. And it's just easier to choose colors and things like that. Now, in hindsight, I feel like I should have thought about the background a little bit more. I had this idea to create this very cloudy, dark sky with a giant moon behind the girl to kind of make her stand out more. But I do think that at the end of the day, that maybe this background was a little bit too busy for the amount of objects or things that were on the page. So Even though I really like how this background turned out, I don't necessarily know if this was the right choice for this specific image. But I already started and I really liked it before I started coloring all the other objects. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I think maybe a a less busy background would have been a better choice for this page. And trying to figure out what was web, what was thread, what was background, it was quite difficult because this was just a whole interconnected ball of confusion. They were all over each other, under each other, crossing. It was quite difficult. I have to admit that I kind of forgot how time consuming pencils or using only pencils are. Um, I was quite surprised at how long this took me to complete, and the background alone took me almost 2 days to finish. Um, so, yeah, I will say that pencils, even though I love the medium and I like using it, it's definitely not the fastest. And I don't know if I will continue using it as often on its own in the future if I'm just doing it for my own enjoyment. In the original Rumpelstiltskin story, he basically takes straw and turns it into golden thread. But since there were no yellows or oranges in my color palette, I could not stick to the original story, so I had to go for purple instead. But this is my coloring book and my channel, so I guess I can do whatever I want with the page. So even though it doesn't really match the story, it's fine. I am not going to try and be color accurate. That's not the point of this project or challenge that I'm setting for myself. So we have to just do with purple grass, purple threads, and just turn it into our own story. I have thought about using different ways to choose my colors or color palettes, since it feels like this website mainly puts together color palettes of similar colors instead of different colors that all match each other. So, if you have any ideas, please pop those down in the comments, and then maybe next time I can try something different, just to get a little bit more color variety in the coloring pages, because they all feel like I'm just taking one color and doing a one color challenge color palette. And that's not really what I wanted to do with this. So, yeah, if you have any ideas on different ways to choose colors or color palettes, let me know. Maybe something like choosing a book cover to replicate the colors, or maybe even just scrolling Pinterest and choosing a color palette or the first color palette I see. But I would love to hear from you, so let me know what you guys think. I also remembered the one thing I really don't like about using pencils, and that is the waxy, shiny finish that it leaves on the page. No matter how I angle the camera or change my lighting, it just doesn't go away, and you can just see this very shiny page. So I do apologize if it's kind of difficult to see, but it's unavoidable when you use pencils. I was torn in two about coloring this girl. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to make her very dark, to allow her to stand out against the backlighting, or whether I wanted to make her a lighter color, to avoid her getting lost within all the other threads and the spiders and whatever. Um, so I did opt to make her a lighter color. I'm not so sure that was the right choice. I think maybe if I went darker, the background lighting would have stood out more. But I did choose a light color at the end of the day, and I'm not so sure if that was the best choice. You guys let me know what you think. So before I show you the results of how it turned out, I just want to say I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and let me know down below if you have any ideas or other ways in which you think I can choose my mediums, my colors, other than the spinner wheels. I'd love to hear some ideas from you guys. Also, if you like art videos, coloring videos, please remember to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed this one. So until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.